Phan tak yai mok, lay tuk kon ya hen rang kong wan ti mia kom samrit. Aaron pa I nai quap quam ream lay fak mai, lay fu pa a tmi kom yim ti my cow j, gamlang ryan rao, kom yim nan ya bpenchiiwit kong kun phii mai. Ruam cam nai fan lay si fak, kun ya tham arai. The rain poured down heavily. The sound of thunder echoed across the small village in the valley. Raindrops splashed against the tin roofs, creating a rhythmic pounding. Aaron walked through water up to his ankles, his shirt clinging to his body. His breath trembled with the cold. He saw the sky darken, with only flashes of lightning illuminating the treetops. The scent of wet earth filled his nose, mixed with the rusty smell from the old wooden bridge he was crossing. The rain did not stop. The sound of rushing water from the nearby stream roared like a warning. He quickened his pace, but suddenly felt something icy brush against his ankle. Aaron froze. His heart pounded so hard he thought it would burst from his chest. He bent to look into the murky water. Another flash of lightning revealed a faint shadow beneath the surface. It was not a branch. It was not a stone. It was the shape of a hand, pale and moving slowly, as if trying to grab his foot. Aaron recoiled, nearly falling backward. The rain poured harder than before. The thunder crashed so loud the ground seemed to shake. He turned to look again. The shadow was gone. Only the rushing water remained, swirling with white foam. He stood, gasping, looking around in fear. Then the sky began to change color. The rain gradually slowed. The last raindrops fell from his hair. The sky slowly opened, and at the horizon appeared a vibrant rainbow. But amid that beauty, Aaron's eyes caught something reflected beneath the curve of the rainbow. A figure stood there, drenched, with a strange smile on their face. A smile he had seen before, beneath the water on the night of the heaviest rain of his life. Ron's body froze, his gaze locked on the figure beneath the rainbow. The droplets of rain still clung to his hair and clothes, dripping slowly onto the wet ground, but he could not feel them. His mind was consumed by the unsettling familiarity of the smile. It was a smile that should have belonged to someone dead, yet here it was, alive, mocking, and impossibly real. The figure did not move, except for the slow sway of its hair, wet and plastered to a pale, expressionless face. The eyes glimmered, unnervingly bright in the fading sunlight, and locked onto his with a magnetic intensity. Aaron's heart pounded violently against his ribs. Every instinct screamed at him to run, to turn, to escape, but his legs refused to obey. They felt rooted to the spot, bound by something he could not see. A sudden gust of wind blew across the valley, carrying the scent of wet grass and something metallic, sharp, and tangibly wrong. Aaron inhaled sharply, and the taste of iron filled his mouth. His stomach churned, and for a fleeting moment, he feared he might vomit. The rainbow above shimmered strangely, its colors bending unnaturally as though the air itself was warping. Shadows danced beneath the light, forming patterns that made no sense, impossible geometries that made the valley look alien. The figure stepped forward, not many steps, just enough for the water to ripple around its feet. Yet each movement was precise, deliberate, and unhurried, as if it had all the time in the world to draw out this moment. Aaron tried to speak, but no sound came. His throat felt parched despite the rain, and his tongue seemed to stick to the roof of his mouth. He tried again. Who are you? His voice cracked, weak and barely audible. The figure's smile widened. It tilted its head slightly, studying him as one might study an insect. Trapped in amber. Then, finally, it spoke. Its voice was soft, melodic, almost hypnotic, but every word sent shivers crawling up his spine. You remember me? Aaron's mind raced. He knew he had never heard this voice before, yet every word felt intimately familiar, like a memory buried deep in a part of him he could not reach. I do not. His words faltered. I do not know you. The figure chuckled, a sound that seemed to echo both near and far, bouncing off the mountains and the water. It was a sound that carried menace beneath its sweetness. You know me, the figure said. We have always known each other, even before the rain fell. Even before you thought you were safe. The water around Aaron's ankles began to stir, swirling as though something beneath was moving, unseen. His eyes darted to the stream, to the ripples, and the faint outline of hands reaching toward him from the murky depths. He stumbled backward, slipping in the mud. The cold water soaked through his shoes, sending a jolt of numbness up his legs. Stay calm, the figure said, stepping closer. Do not resist. It will not help you. Aaron's mind screamed, a torrent of fear and disbelief. His rational thoughts collided with his instincts. He wanted to run, yet the valley seemed to stretch endlessly, the rainbow now arching impossibly across the entire horizon, too far and too close at the same time. The wind picked up, carrying whispers, faint, unintelligible at first, then louder, forming words that chilled him. Remember, remember, remember. Aaron's vision blurred, images flashed behind his eyes, memories he had never consciously lived. A laughing child running through the rain, a face reflected in puddles that was not his own, a hand reaching for him, dragging him beneath cold water. The rainbow shimmered, flickering between brilliant colors and darkness, as if reality itself was tearing at the seams. Aaron fell to his knees, trembling uncontrollably. The figure knelt as well, close enough now that Aaron could see the details of its face. Its skin was impossibly pale, almost translucent, and veins pulsed faintly beneath it. The smile remained, but now it was joined by eyes that were hollow, bottomless, and terrifyingly intelligent. You cannot run, the figure whispered. You cannot hide. You are mine, as always. Aaron's mind reeled. He tried to focus on anything, to break the spell of terror. The cold mud beneath his fingers, the sting of rain on his cheeks, the scent of wet earth, the sound of the stream rushing past. But it was futile. The figure's presence was overwhelming, a living shadow that invaded every sense, every thought. Suddenly, the water around his knees erupted. Not with splashes of rain, but with shapes, faces, hands, fragments of bodies swirling in a liquid nightmare. They were trapped, screaming silently, reaching for him as though warning him. Aaron scrambled backward, his mind teetering on the brink of hysteria. He could feel the pull, the insistence of the water, as if it wanted him to join whatever dark world lay beneath the surface. The rainbow above fractured, its colors bled into one another, forming jagged streaks of light that burned into his eyes. The valley itself seemed to twist and warp. Trees bent unnaturally, shadows stretched impossibly long, and the ground shivered like a living creature. The figure spoke again, its voice now layered, echoing in multiple tones that made it impossible to discern how many voices were speaking at once. You feared the rain, but the rainbow is the gate. You cannot escape it. You cannot escape me. Aaron felt a cold grip seize his chest. He gasped for air, but it felt heavy, unyielding. The ground beneath him seemed to dissolve into the river, and the figure extended a hand, long, slender, impossibly pale, toward him. He saw himself reflected in the water, distorted, twisted. His own eyes looked back at him, wide with terror, yet behind them, something alien glimmered. Something that was not entirely him. Do not resist, the figure said. It is time to remember everything you have forgotten. Everything you have buried. Everything that waits beneath the rain. Lightning split the sky, illuminating the valley in stark white for a heartbeat. In that instant, Aaron saw not one figure, but countless faces of people he had never met, or thought he had forgotten, each smiling, each reaching, each whispering promises of secrets he had never known. He screamed, a raw, hollow sound that echoed off the mountains and was swallowed by the river. The rainbow above flickered violently, now no longer beautiful but menacing. Its colors seemed to bleed into the dark shapes in the water, merging sky and abyss into one impossible, living nightmare. Aaron's mind raced, seeking a way to escape, to flee the valley, to deny the impossible. But the figure's hand touched his shoulder. Light, cold, and suffocating. And then a voice, closer than his own ear, whispered one last thing. You always come back, you always fall, and you always remember too late. The valley fell silent, the rainbow trembled, the river stilled. Aaron felt the world shift beneath him, and the line between reality and nightmare blurred completely. He tried to move, to call out, to run, but the figure was already in him. And the rain, finally, stopped. Aaron's body felt heavy, as if the world itself was pressing down on him. The figure's hand lingered on his shoulder, cold and insistent, yet not painful. The river's water, which had churned into a living nightmare moments before, now lay calm and mirror-like. The rainbow above remained, its colors softened, almost gentle, bending across the sky as though nothing had happened. Aaron closed his eyes, trying to steady his racing heart. He could feel the presence of the figure, but now it was different. Less threatening, almost expectant. You have remembered, the figure whispered, its voice softer, almost sad. And that is enough for now. Aaron opened his eyes. The valley looked ordinary again. Trees swayed gently in the wind, and the stream gurgled peacefully over the rocks. The faces beneath the water had disappeared. The figure began to fade, slowly dissolving into the mist that hovered above the river. Its smile lingered for a moment longer, then vanished entirely. Aaron sank to his knees, breathing heavily, feeling the warmth return to his body. The fear that had gripped him so completely began to loosen, replaced by a strange, lingering wonder. He stood slowly, brushing mud and water from his clothes. The rainbow remained, brilliant but harmless, stretching across the sky like a promise. A sense of calm filled him, though he could not explain why. The valley felt alive, but welcoming, no longer a place of terror. Aaron took a deep breath of the wet, earthy air. He felt the pulse of life in the grass beneath his feet, in the gentle sway of the trees, in the sparkling river. He knew, somehow, that the figure might return one day, that the memory of this moment would never truly leave him. But for now, he was free. He began walking along the riverbank, following the path where the sunlight now glimmered through the mist. The rainbow's colors seemed to shimmer in time with his steps, a reminder that even after the heaviest storms, beauty could emerge. And though a part of him would always remember the chill of the water, the faces beneath it, and the figure with the unsettling smile, he understood one truth. Some mysteries were meant to be faced, felt, and then left behind, like rain washing over the earth, leaving it renewed. Aaron smiled faintly, stepping into the soft light, the rainbow arching high above him, and for the first time since the storm began, he felt the quiet peace of surviving the impossible. The valley was silent, the river whispered, and the rainbow glowed gently as if guarding him, a bridge between the past and the present, between fear and hope. Aaron walked on, leaving the shadows behind, carrying only the memory of the rain and the rainbow. And somewhere, far above, the clouds parted completely, revealing a sky that promised tomorrow.